coming without me much. Plus, I need to charge the fan. Alright, I'm about to come in and do an update. Obviously. Okay. Get. Oh, hi, sweet pie. You're so adorable. I think maybe I'll do a reset first. Probably time for a reset. Oh, so cute. Alright, stand by. Oh, so cute and healthy. Alright. Okay, let me just get audio in. Oops. Okay, those of you in the Sisko room should be hearing me now. And I'm in Tip's room, so you guys are probably hearing me now too. Hopefully there's not an echo. If there's an echo, it's because you need to mute one of your feeds if you're watching both. I'm just going to do a quick Sisko update first, since I was just in there. I wasn't planning to go in there. I was going to come in here first, into Tip's room first, but I saw that she was off the nest for the first time, and I thought it would be much less stressful for her if I stole the babies when she was not in the nest. So I quick ran in there and grabbed them and was able to very, very quickly weigh them, sex them, and get them onto a clean towel. Sisko is currently on the ledge, I think, and she's looking at the door like she just wants to make sure the human predator is not coming back. When I went in there, she was relaxing in the bin across from the kittens, so nearby, but just taking a little break. So she still has that opportunity. I did put in fresh food and water, and I wasn't able to put a clean blanket in the nest where Sisko was because she was in there and I didn't want to stress her out too much. So with 8 kittens, I felt that it was very important to get in there as soon as possible, rather than giving her a day or two undisturbed, which I would have liked to have done. But because there are 8 kittens, the odds of 1 or 2 being smaller and not being able to compete are pretty good. So the longer I waited, the greater the chance that there's, a kitten that needs to be supplemented or needs a little bit of a boost. And, if that kitten isn't getting that, then they go downhill pretty quickly. So I want to make sure that I'm doing everything I can. And if one of the kittens is struggling, then we do have a plan for that. But I don't want to upset the apple cart and make any changes unless it's absolutely necessary. Hi! Tip's coming to see me. Yes, I cleaned myself and I changed all my clothes. Oh, look at those adorable babies. So adorable. So I am keeping an eye on Sisko. She seems okay, so hopefully she will return to the nest shortly. I did put lots of food in there for her. Oh, the tip cam shouldn't be down. Looks like it's okay to me on this end anyway. You might want to refresh. You're so cute. So, excuse me. So we do have one tiny little guy, the one with the purple collar, who is weighing in at 68 grams. So pretty little. Not quite as little as Eep when she was born, but little enough that I'm going to have to steal them again. Here comes Sisko. That I'm going to want to steal them again if I can tonight. At least steal that one and make sure that the weight is going up. There's Mommy. I think she is having a snack. Let me see if I can switch. Camera 4. Hi. Yep, she's eating, so that's good. So I used the reacher to put the food in the bin where she was. This is actually the bin where the babies were born, but she had relocated over to that side when I had the babies out and was weighing them, so I put some food in there so that it would be nice and close to her and she would feel protected. So hopefully she will. Well, it's a great sign that she's eating so soon after I've been in there. That's good. So if she was paralyzed by fear, she would not be eating. So that's this is a good sign that she's eating so quickly. We'll see if she returns to the babies then after that. I was less worried about her rejecting the babies, seeing how strong her maternal instincts obviously are. Having 8 babies is pretty intense, and she did a really good job taking care of them. Oh, now I need to switch the cam again. Wish I could run this with 4 cameras, but I think it might crash. Maybe I'll try. So she is. So I didn't get a chance to put a clean blanket on that side because she was in there. She's going to the bathroom now. taking care of business. Whew, I sweat bullets when I go in there. She was not aggressive at all, which is good. I'm sure that if she was on the nest, it would be a different story, but she was pretty good. So anyway, I was talking about the kittens. So 8 kittens. I did get them all weighed, thank goodness. And 7 of them are doing great. And 1 of them is pretty tiny. So it's good that I know that and that I can monitor, and we can make sure that that one is at the milk bar throughout the day. And then if he's having problems, I may need to implement Plan B, but it's not something that I would do lightly. Plan B would be potentially to introduce him to Tip's kittens. It's a bit of a risk because while Sisko has not been symptomatic for anything, and I've had her for 4 weeks, so that's a really good sign. She has not been tested for feline leukemia yet, so oh, there she looks. Look at her belly. She still looks like she's preggo. Just gonna look out the window a little bit. It's okay for her to be back to the lid. She's spent all night with them. So I've been in consultation with Dr. F about what to do. Medically, it's not necessarily advisable to combine, to just throw a random kitten in with another mom without being able to test them. He's too little to test. But if he's not getting enough to eat with Sisko, and then it's definitely more beneficial for him holistically to be with a mom and to be getting more access to the milk bar. And she's obviously taking great care of her babies too. So it's going to be a tough call unless I go in tonight and I'm able to weigh him and he's gaining. And as long as he's gaining, then I'm not going to do anything.
And Jerry taking a nice wipe.
Oh, it is. That was very dramatic. But if I go in tonight and he hasn't gained, or if he's lost weight, then I definitely need to intervene. So I will, at that point, I will intervene. Yeah, so you can't take blood at this age to do a SNAP test when they're so tiny. Yeah, so and if I had to supplement him, I would need to do it every few hours, and to take him in and out of there every few hours would be pretty stressful for Sisko. So that's not a great option. I mean, what I would end up doing as a plan C would be just keeping him on his own, which would be hard for him, right? So probably what I would end up doing is taking him and a sibling, whichever the 2 smallest ones were, and supplementing both of them. And we do that when we have to, right? Bottle feeding we do, but it's better for them to have a mom and to get mom's antibodies and to, be with other kittens and all of that. It's better for them developmentally. So we always have to make these really tough decisions where we're weighing one risk against another and one benefit against another and trying to figure out the best the least amount of risk with the most amount of benefit. And then, it depends on if you want to do the most medically appropriate thing, which would be not to expose him to other kittens and vice versa. But then, he's got to adjust to formula versus real milk, and he's got to be on his own. So it's a tough call for sure. So hopefully, let's all hope that he gains some weight and that I'm able to go back in tonight and grab him and weigh him, and that he's gained some weight, and then I won't have to do anything. There's no evidence of any sort of disease. Sisko has been healthy for the last 4 weeks. She's been dewormed, all that stuff. It's just that it's good practice to do feline leukemia FIV snap tests so that we know that he's negative going in. Yeah, I could take him out for a few days and bottle feed him and then try to put him back in. I could try that, sure. But again, it's tough when they're a day old for them not to have a mom. And to switch to formula, he's likely going to have some diarrhea or some constipation, or and so there are negatives to that and positives to that. It is an option, yeah. And there is no way to do a blood draw on a feral cat, so I couldn't do a blood draw on Sisko. Like when I brought her in, it would be impossible to do that. So since I know the colony cats there so well, the thing that we've seen with them the most is upper respiratory. And so they've likely all been exposed to it. Sisko is not symptomatic, but it doesn't necessarily mean that she's not carrying the virus. So, I mean, I know that many of you will question whatever decision I make, but just please know that some of these decisions are not easy. I don't take them lightly. I do talk to the vet, and I will ultimately make the decision that is in the best interest of the kitten and everyone. So you might not all agree with the decision that I make, but it will be made very, very thoughtfully and with the advice of the vet. So Sisko has tested negative for ringworm, which is good. Yeah, and it's hard watching on the cam to know all the different things that go into the decision that we're making too. And I don't always have time to explain all of the different factors. And then at the end of the day, it's kind of comes down to a gut feeling and just having to make a call. So that's what will happen ultimately. And but hopefully that will be avoided, because when I go in this evening, hopefully he will have gained some weight. So, let's see, I'll switch back to the kittens. Oh, it's so adorable. So, 8 kittens, 4 girls, 4 boys. The boys, 3 are all black with no white, and then 1 is all black with a little white locket. Of the girls, 1 is ginger, 1 is torty, and then 1 is black with a little white locket, and then 1 is all black. I will put more collars on as they get bigger so that we can tell them apart. For now, I put collars on 3 of the 4 black boys so that I know next time I weigh them so that I can make sure that I am comparing weights for the same kitten. Otherwise, I would weigh them again and I wouldn't know like who was 105 grams and who was 102 and all that stuff. So I have collars on 3 of the black males. The purple collar is the tiniest one that needs to be monitored. And stuff. I'll do up a weight chart for the Sisko kittens. And then we'll figure out some names. So the yellow collar, which by the way is Marvy's old collar, Marvy's first collar, is 102 grams. Purple collar is the little tiny one at 68 grams. And then the blue collar is 105 grams. The biggest one is the black boy with the white locket who has no collar at this point, 131 grams. The little torty girl is 104 grams. The little ginger girl is 93 grams. And then the black female with the little white locket is 117 grams. So they're all doing pretty well, all within the same kind of, except for 1 giant one and 1 little one. So, but I didn't see anything that I was immediately concerned with. Except for the weight. So that will, that's the only thing I will be monitoring. So I will likely try to wait until she's off the nest at some point tonight and then just go in and try to grab the 1 little one if I can. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of time to let him go at this point because being so little, kind of the first couple of days are critical. I would like him to get as much of his mom's colostrum as possible and then her milk. So I'll just, she's going to get swarmed when she goes back in there, I'm sure. So we'll just see how it goes. So that's the update. Don't be surprised if she moves them. Don't be surprised if, you know, any number of things could happen. The feral moms on the property move babies around daily, almost sometimes. So it will be an adventure. That's for sure. But it is, I think overall, it's amazing that she gave birth to 8 living babies and that they are all seeming to be relatively healthy at this point. So that's pretty much amazing. No, there's no way to swab the blood from the blanket. There's no way to yeah, no way to do a test. It's a very small chance. We haven't had any of the cats from the colony test positive, so um, that's a good thing. So it's very unlikely that she would test positive for feline leukemia or FIV, but it doesn't mean it's impossible. It just is, it's highly unlikely, particularly with her being so healthy. And she has been under stress, and stress would usually trigger, if she was sick with something, usually being under the stress she's been under, just being in captivity and being pregnant, would have triggered some sort of incident if she did have a disease. So it's a very low likelihood, but it is still a risk that I need to take into consideration. The white bins, I'm not sure. I don't think there are any white bins in the room. Oh, the white bins okay. Yeah, inside the black bins. I know, I did see her trying to get back there. I don't think she could probably fit the babies back there, but I don't think she could fit back there with them. Um, but yeah, I could stuff another blanket or two in there next time I go in. Just in case. Oh, and there are cameras inside the cabinet, so if she does move them there, and she has several options to move them around, which are set up with cameras and blankets and stuff. So most of the places that she could go would be fine, unless she picks like a random, log area or something. In the colony, I will add a weight chart link there so that you can track the weights. Yeah, so it went pretty smoothly. Sisko did not show any aggression toward me. She just kind of stayed where she was, let me take them, and then she let me put them back too, no problem. So that is good, because it means that, that may change, but it was good for today. So hopefully, as long as I wait for her to be off the nest when I go in, then I'm hoping I will mostly have access to the kittens to be able to weigh them and make sure the little guy is doing okay. So yeah, I haven't done names yet. I was, yeah, I will include color on the weight chart. I'm hoping to keep Sisko with the kittens until they're old enough to be weaned. So that would be around 4 weeks. And then as soon as they are, I may actually try to keep her a little bit longer because I don't want to. If I end up able to combine them with Tips kittens, then I don't want them to still be nursing heavily. So I would like them to be a little more transitioned. So we'll just have to play that part by ear. And of course, I won't combine all of them until there's a negative feline leukemia test. I'll be able to do a test at Sisko Spay. So we will be able to, that's the only time we'll be able to draw blood and do what we need to do there. So So it was sort of an impromptu visit this morning because I looked on the camera and I noticed she was off the nest, and so much easier to grab kittens if she's not on the nest. So there we go. So we're all keeping an eye on purple collar, and you can see blue collar is on the top there. Blue and purple, I guess the collars look kind of similar, but purple is on the left and blue is on the right. And they should be fine for, even if Sisko stays out of the nest for a couple of hours, it should be fine. Because she's been in there with them all night. And you can tell from the weights of most of them. The weights of 7 of them are pretty good. 131 grams, like less than 24 hours is good. Let's look at, see, like none of Tip's kittens are 131 grams as of yesterday. They probably are today though. Oh look, I haven't even put their names in there. Ah, so much to do. Okay, so anyway, ginger females are less common than ginger males. It's about a 25% chance. So because they get one color trait from each parent if they're female, her daddy was ginger because Sisko carries ginger, and so daddy would have had to be ginger. I suspect the other daddies were probably black. Although the boys only get their color from mom, so I think it's kind of fascinating that all 4 boys are solid black because that comes from mom, and she's actually primarily ginger. So I was not necessarily expecting that, but there you go. Right, little mama? Right. Whew. So now that my pulse rate is returning to normal, I did get some sleep last night. Thanks for asking. Oh yeah, babies can have more than one baby daddy. Well, not, one baby has one daddy, but like a litter of 8 kittens, she could have 8 different baby daddies. I know, I do need a few hundred more nights of sleep, but I do feel a bit better. Cricket is one in a million. This is the biggest litter I've ever had born here. 8 kittens. Yep. The jungle kittens were 10, but they were multiple litters. I do not know which one was blanket kitten. So that's interesting. I will check and see if Ginger Girl has any white on her. I didn't see any, but I didn't check in like the locket spot. So if there were only 4 kittens or 5 kittens, I wouldn't be as concerned about monitoring the kittens so closely. But with 8 kittens, it's going to get pretty competitive at the milk bar, and so and because I can't confirm that all of Sisko's 8 nipples are functioning, I suspect they are. There's no reason to think otherwise, but because there are 8 kittens, I think it's prudent to monitor more closely and just make sure that I'd rather be safe than sorry, you know. And things can, when they're so little, they're very fragile and very delicate and could you know, go downhill very quickly. So I just want to make sure that I'm on top of that. So, all right. So Sisko cam people, I'm going to switch the audio back to the lovely rainfall sounds. I will check in again later on. And so I'm and I'm going to do a tip update in the tip cam in the tip room. So if you go to your URL bar and you change where it says tip or where it says Sisko to tip, T-I-P, you'll see the tip cam. Tip is my non-feral rescue mama cat who just had her babies the night of the 4th. You'll see it's quite a different experience with a tame, friendly mama cat than with a feral mama cat. And Tip's kittens are incredibly adorable also. So we will probably do some kitten close-ups and we'll weigh them and stuff like that. They're pretty cute. So so if you just change the Sisko in the URL bar where it says tinykitten/Sisko, change that to tinykitten/tip, and you'll see them. Cam 7. There's no. Okay. All right. I think we've switched back to room audio over there now. Oh, Dr. F's going to call me. I don't know where my phone is actually. Okay, so Dr. Ferguson just texted that she wants to call me, so I need to go find my phone. So stand by for the tip beat. It's going to happen just in a few minutes. You know what you think?